Hey yo, rollers, it's your boy J Malt. If you like original tabletop RPG adventures, join our Patreon for all original content like one-page dungeons, one-shot adventures, as well as original monsters, traps, and items. We create new stuff every month so that even if your DM isn't fully prepared, you can save the day. Check us out at patreon.com/Goblins Growlers.
Okay, we're counting in, everybody. So have your recording on, and then we clap at the zero.
DJ Aldo, DJ Aldo.
Rest in peace, Taurus.
This is Quid Pro Roll, a fantasy live play adventure where a party of unlikely heroes embark on a quest to bring dragons back to their world.
After a brief respite at Bernard's Tower to recover your health and let your wounds close, you had a breakfast and then went out into Venturion, the war-torn capital of the Boris Empire. Things are quiet for now, and you all found your way to the base of the stairs of the palace. With determination, you head up the stairs into the grand halls with one thing on your mind: getting your hands on the crown.
Okay, so looking for crown, right?
Yeah, I only got one thing on my mind, really.
It's that crown.
He's probably in the throne room, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, that's the plan. Throne room, which is why we're here. We're at the gates, going to the throne room. Throne room time.
You stride into the throne room and are immediately blocked by an enormous broadsword being held in your way by a woman in red armor. Looking past her, it appears that there is only one other person of note in the room, and it is not Emperor Cronus, but it is his sister. She's sitting at a table covered in a map with small pieces that appear to be some kind of war strategy layout. She looks up, afraid for a moment, and then relaxes slightly. Perla, let them in. The knight withdraws her sword, but continues to glare at you. Ready, every single muscle in her body tense as her eyes just bore holes through you.
Is this the person that we ran into when we were exploring around?
It is.
Okay.
Well,
was I there? No,
I was going to say, I think that was just Koza, Alita, and Solinar. It was before Johannes had snuck in through the sewers.
Yes, it was, but Koza, Alita, and Solinar will recognize them.
Good. Solinar looks at a window. Afternoon. Your Highness? Majesty?
Highness will do.
Okay. We're here with a request. And we're willing to talk about it.
I am assuming that despite this change in manner and appearance, you are not Alarian spies. But you are also not servants.
No, we are not Alarian spies, nor are we servants. Actually, we're here to do metallic dragon work.
The dragons that once opposed the Chromatics in the Draconic War a long time ago.
That is correct. And we need the crown, the Emperor's crown, to continue that work.
The key to the Temple of Gold.
Oh, I wasn't sure if that was well recorded or not, but yes.
It is a secret, but the royal family has held on to it for years.
I mean, the fact that you haven't tried to destroy it suggests to me that you aren't entirely closed to the idea of the metallic dragon's return.
There was a time where the royal family worked alongside golden dragons. It was not until a few hundred years ago that the Boris Empire threw in its lot with the chromatics.
I mean, I don't know how the golden dragons are gonna feel when they re-emerge from whatever their situation's been, but I don't see a reason why you couldn't go back to working with the golden dragons.
What do you think caused the Boris Empire to align with the chromatics in the first place?
I don't know, actually.
Solinar gets squinty thinking face. War?
Infrastructure?
She's going to gesture with a small sparkling of light blue energy coming off her hands like glitter. In that shimmering light, a few chairs are going to appear. They look elaborate and comfortable and cushioned. Please, sit.
Because it's going to take a seat.
Johannes is like, actually, I'm like, my legs are, I prefer standing right now. I'm kind of like, gonna do some calisthenics. Did you know it's year 8?
Alaria and the Boris Empire were once one great nation that split into over conflict a very, very, very long time ago. Alaria maintained fertile fields, beautiful orchards, good soil, and a temperate climate. The Boris Empire is a beautiful nation, but one that does not have the resources that Alaria does. The Boris Empire aligned with the chromatics because we were starving. People suffered. People got sick. People died. We needed an ally who would help us, especially one that would help us reclaim lands that we had lost. My brother believes that the only way to resolve this is to reunify the nations under his banner. I do not have any such illusions. I, in fact, have a proposal.
What is your proposal?
I know where the crown is, and I will give it to you under 3 conditions. The first condition is that you will support my bid for the throne. If you are able to bring back the metallic dragons, you will be hailed as heroes, especially to the nation of Alaria. I want you to use that power, authority, and influence to support my claim.
To which throne are we speaking?
The Barosian throne.
Okay.
What's the platform you're running on?
She kind of gives Johannes a confused look and continues. My second is that you aid me in reestablishing goodwill relations with Alaria. And the third is, one way or another, I want you to depose my brother.
Seems a little harsh, but I think, generally speaking, we were interested in seeing no further conflict between the Boros Empire and Alaria anyway.
Make no mistake, I love my brother. But as a member of the royal family, my first and foremost loyalty has to be to the Barosian people. My brother is not right for this. He is cunning and he is ruthless and he is absolutely brilliant. But he is just as cold as this land is. And we need a better way. There is no weakness in reaching out a hand, and I will not fall prey to the pride my brother has. If I had been born a man, I would have had a very strong claim to the throne. But now is the time for change, and I would be a fool if I did not grasp this opportunity.
I mean, I'll say in support of that, I don't think Queen Elise of Alaria wants conflict either.
Queen Elise is only going to be monarch for a short time longer.
I mean, she seems to be doing pretty well. I don't think anybody's going to depose her.
That is not how royalty in Alaria works. She is going to declare her successor soon. I need support that is going to last beyond the current crown.
I mean, I think that's fair. Solinar looks at the rest of the group for a moment. I, at the very least, don't have any issue supporting. If your goal is peace, then that's what I want as well.
What say you? She's going to turn to Koza and Johannes.
Well, everything you're saying right now, makes sense to me.
I like the peace platform. I'm a big fan of the People Party. I vote people every time. So if you're going to be the People Party, then I'm, all for it. And I already know your brother's not the People Party because I see what happens to people here. It's not good. So I'm for not being for him too.
With Emberlyn gone, I believe that we are already primed to be in a place of less violence. But there will always be another Emberlyn.
I hate the thought of that, but I guess you're right. Wherever somebody thinks that they're going to get power, it seems like more and more that we travel around, the more and more we see that people are always kind of looking for it.
We live in a world where it is very simple to search for power. Difficult, yes, but simple. But even in places where things aren't so direct, people will always want power and they will always cause pain to get it. I am not pretending that I will create a utopia. And there might be an argument that I am a weaker ruler. But I'm willing to negotiate for peace. I am willing to reach out with an open hand before I draw a sword. And you all are only going to be heroes for as long as your legacy lasts. There will be new dragons and new monsters, new horrors beyond our understanding, and some that dwell even within us. What we need to do is set things up so that the next group of heroes can release the next group of metallic dragons when the time comes.
I think I follow what you're saying, and generally, yes, I agree. But I think the core and crucial thing here is you want peace. We want peace. And we're connected enough to, at the very least, make it so that conversations will happen.
I want more than that. I want your word that you will support me in the negotiations.
In so far as what you are negotiating for
is what is best for your people and for establishing lasting peace in these lands, I would always support that.
She looks over at the two nobles.
Johannes is going to turn and look at Koza.
Why don't we take a moment just to discuss this? I feel like that would be a wise choice.
You're welcome to use the quarters at the back of the throne room, but please don't take too long. I will point out that I am in possession of the thing that you need to bring back the dragons.
Oh yeah, no problem there. We understand, and we're just doing, gotta think through like a noble. Gotta think everything through. That's what my pops would always say. Always cross your I's and dot your T's. And then we walk over to the side.
The party is going to be allowed to use the room that previously you all had been sealed in with rain. There is no magical seal on the door or anything like that, but you're able to close the door softly behind you with a gentle click.
I'm going to be honest. I don't like the cut of her jib.
I agree. I think this feels kind of bad. There's something that just feels bad here.
Well, on one hand, we've got the nobility has always run this empire. And from a perspective of, everything that we know about empire stability, having the through line of, people that the people know, that's a good thing, I think. But the bad thing is there's lots of been evil. There's lots of been evil on the thrones. And it seems like, there's a lot of planning going on. And I think that's a little bit scary, because I don't think all that planning should be going on when we could just be, I don't know, getting some things done. If you really care about the people, then you could have been caring about the people for the last however many years.
Solinar nods along with all of that. I mean, there is something to be said for, if your brother is the emperor, there's only so much you can do to fix the situation when he wants the situation to be a specific way. Like, that is the core issue with an empire or a monarchy or something like that, is that there's one person who gets to make all the calls and call all the shots and do all the terrible things to all the people. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying, like, there is room for her to be a better person than her brother here. It feels like she wants us to commit to something large and specific. And I don't know that I'm comfortable committing to something large and specific with someone who, so far as I can tell, 3 days ago would have just as soon lopped our heads from our bodies.
Yeah, we don't even know her yet. And even though I know that I like to trust people really early, because I do, I think part of that is because when I first meet people, they're not asking me to make sure that I back their bid for an empire.
I think realistically, what we can offer is an opportunity to parlay with the Alarian government, a ceasefire to hostilities, and the opening of trade communication with both Alaria and Talair. I think that's about what we can offer, realistically. I don't want to get involved in Barosian Empire politics. I don't know anything about Barosian Empire politics.
Yeah, politics was my worst class in school.
But also, if we can give her these connections and she can leverage them, effectively, then she won't need us supporting her, because the people will be like, hell yeah, she got all the fighting to stop, and then she got all this trade flowing, and then, like, people started getting really good food from all these really cool places,
Oh my god, good food. I'd vote for good food every time.
You're like a banquet party voter.
Dude, if there's a banquet party, you know that it's the only thing that can pull me away from the people party. What do you think, Koza?
I want us to find a way that doesn't involve us becoming beholden to this person. I also don't know what to do because they are the ones who could give us access to the crown most easily.
I don't know that I like the idea of fighting through the entire however many soldiers are in this castle because we've denied her and still need the crown.
Well, this is why I'm saying we give a counteroffer. I'm not saying we decline outright.
What do you mean?
Well, the ceasefire, the negotiations, the opening of trade talks, like, these are all things that are inside of our level of authority to be able to open the door to, but are also things that we can offer without being beholden to something.
You guys, I've got something kind of crazy here that I never really thought of. But I took this as a spell when I grew into level 10. And now I'm looking at it. It's called Locate Object. And I know this is going to sound crazy because I literally didn't think about this. I was just picking spells that were the first ones I saw. But I think that this actually is a pretty decent idea. I'm going to throw that out there. I mean, I also don't like the idea of politics. And I do know how to locate objects that I've seen before.
We're gonna need a story if we're going to turn her down, or we need to sneak out of here.
Well, again, I said counteroffer. Counteroffer. What? Are you all not familiar with the negotiations? Like, you don't just accept the first offer that's put on the table.
Negotiations like that are not normally a power-hungry monarch holding an ancient holy relic that we need to save the world.
It's not so different from when you want 2 pounds of fish and the merchant says he'll only sell you 1 pound for the amount of money you have.
Solinar, holy relic does not equal fish. Thing number 1. Thing number 2, my point kind of is, I think she's holding a lot of the cards here.
The core principles remain the same. You don't accept the first offer you receive. You always counteroffer unless you're feeling generous. And guess what? We just annihilated this kingdom's biggest, baddest ally. We're holding cards here.
Alita's going to look over at Johannes and Koza. Is that how nobles work?
Yeah, but we don't talk like that. We say things like, oh, we should have a polite discussion about that over tea. Even if, you're saying it from a position of strength, and that means that they have to have tea with you. And they won't like it.
So what's the plan?
Solinar, make the counteroffer. I'm gonna do some magic real quick while you're doing that.
So we'll send one of us out as a representative. It would look suspicious if just...
No, we can all go out.
Do you need time or space or Eye of Newt or something?
I need verbal, somatic, and a forked twig. Well,
the wonderful thing about walking around with a wood nymph and a druid is that both of them can easily produce forked twigs.
Yep, those are the things.
But if you're going to have a verbal and somatic component, if you've got to do the Macarena while also going, gotta find that crown, they're going to know what you're doing.
I'm fully convinced that Johannes doesn't even need Alita to produce a forked twig. As many times as Johannes has come to a fork in the road and picked it up, there's no question that there are several twigs in that pack.
Oh no, I left them on the cart.
Oh no!
Oh, I got Gabe. He's actually dying. Okay. We've got ideas. I've got forked twig. Thank you, Alita.
No problem.
Locate object.
The crown is within the throne room, hidden under a blanket on the Lady Ophelia's lap.
Oh, dang.
Johannes relays this to the team.
Look, we haven't even made the counteroffer yet. We know where it is now. We know what we're trying to get after. I really would prefer not to take it by force, but we have that option if we must. But really, I think this is a good counteroffer. I would take this counteroffer.
Yeah, if she doesn't take it, then I think we know that something's afoot.
With a solemn nod and an awareness of where the crown is hidden, you all step out of the back room and towards Lady Ophelia, who looks over at you with the patient serenity of someone who knows they're in a good position to get what they want. Lady Perla stands behind her, broadsword over her shoulder, before Lady Ophelia smiles gently, appeasingly, and says, "So do you agree to my terms?"
Not quite. However, we would like to make a counteroffer.
The smile slowly fades from her face, but she nods for you to continue.
We are not comfortable getting involved in Barosian political affairs at such a high level. There's a bit of concern that, well, it would be out of our depth. What we are willing to offer and think would be fair and reasonable is an opportunity to parlay with Alarian leadership. Provided those conversations go reasonably well, opening of trade communication between important merchants in both Alaria and Talair. And then, finally, a call for an immediate cease of all combat activities. And I will add, if your brother is not willing to see reason and, negotiate with us on this, then he will at that point become our problem anyway.
I am unwilling to discuss this further until I get an assurance that you will, without reservation, support my claim to the throne.
I don't think that we can give that, only because we don't really know you.
I don't understand how we're not Barosians, so what good would our support for your claim to the throne be in the first place?
I would add to that question, why would you need our support to make claim to the Barosian throne?
If you all are able to pull off this mission of yours and bring back the metallic dragons, the world is going to be in flux while it regains balance. You will be considered by many, especially Alarians, heroes. If you support my claim to the throne unilaterally, then it will be easy for me to gain Alarian support. On top of that, there are not an insignificant number of people in my own nation who regret the Boros' alignment with the Chromatics. Your support will make me look like an ally of the Metallics and support my claim of reversing the mistakes of Boris's past.
I don't... Does Ilaria have a lot of say in how Borosian claims to the throne work out?
Solinar, it depends on what happens with the war. If if it seems like the metallics aren't going to win if it seems like the chromatics aren't going to win, if it seems like the metallics aren't going to win, if it seems like the chromatics aren't going to win,
Jeez.
then it's going to change the whole dynamic of the war, because then people won't feel like they're going to be able to match up and fight, and then the Alarians are going to be able to dictate some of the terms.
I mean, I would argue if that's the case, if that's the concern, I would argue that having our support in an immediate cessation of all conflict would be more important than us supporting your bid, because if Alaria and Talair and Ocean Var, for that matter, all withdraw their troops right now, then you'll be able to focus on rebuilding and establishing new peaceful relationships, as opposed to having to worry about someone else dictating how your future political schema is going to look.
But
right?
I don't know if everybody's going to withdraw troops right now after seeing all of the things that have been happening from the slavery of their people and all of the different threats and also the illegal animal trades. It's going to be very difficult to convince everybody to just walk away from it and hope that everything doesn't go back to being, possible war.
You misunderstand the political power that heroes get.
That's true.
We live in a world with a shocking lack of them, so that doesn't surprise me. But I think you are vastly underestimating how much political power you will potentially wield after this, especially in the immediate aftermath.
I would say that more to the point is that it sounds to me like we don't want to wield any political power after this.
You don't have a choice.
I beg to differ. I don't think you can drag the heroes into some sort of political game and be like, haha, look, the heroes are here to support a candidate, and we be like, no, actually, we're looking to go home and have tea. Like, that you can't force us to do political shenanigans if we don't wanna.
She's going to give you a soft smile that is both pitying and exasperated. Like, she's trying to explain to a child that they don't get to decide whether or not they have ice cream for dinner.
Your Highness, I think we're at perhaps a little bit of an impasse. We want this to end as peaceably as possible, and that includes what's about to happen again outside of this very palace. So far as I can tell, everyone who's out there is out there to either support Alaria or to support us specifically. So if you are favorable in our eyes, we are better able to position you for success. But none of us is willing to commit to supporting a bid for a crown when we don't understand any of that, really.
Johannes is nodding the whole time, and then when Solnar finishes up, he's like, yeah, politics was my least, I mean, outside of accounting, that was my worst class.
I urge you to carefully consider the decision you're making. I wish for this to be peaceful, and I do truly wish for your support. I wish to be a part of bringing back the metallic dragons, but I am not going to give up one of the few pieces I have that could win me the game.
See, here's the thing I'm going to say. If you see all of this, and I understand why, but if you see all of this as a game, when people are suffering and they're dying outside, and you see this as the only way to be able to secure power, then that's the reason why I'm struggling to be able to back you at all to begin with. Because this isn't a game. People are dying, people are hurting. If you have a way to make that end faster and you're withholding it because of something, that a personal desire, then that doesn't make you a good person.
I am not interested in being a good person. I am interested in being a good ruler, and those are two different things.
Hey, a good ruler doesn't sit there and do nothing while people, when they have the ability to give people the power to end suffering and pain in their country with their people.
Don't pretend that you're in a moral high place. You were a member of the Ilarian nobility just as much as anyone else is, Johannes Folger. And if I recall correctly, Ilaria sent no aid while my people were dying. Allowing my brother to maintain the throne, which is what will happen if I do not have adequate support, is going to lead to more of the same.
Saying that I don't have a moral high place, when I had to sneak in here and then killed a demon dragon combo spawn, I came here. Yeah, the Ilarian nobles didn't send people. I came here myself. I risked my life, and I'm going to continue to do that as much as I possibly can. And I implore you, if you want to be a good ruler and you want to lead your people, to do the same thing. Risk for your people, even if it means putting yourself, specifically yourself. I mean, that's harder than anything else. Sending other people to do things, that's, in many ways, callous and easy. And that's the reason why a lot of these rulers, I think, get it wrong. The ones that get it right are the ones that say, I'm going to do it myself, even if that's really hard. And then people follow you. That's how you get lots of friends. We wouldn't have been able to do this if people weren't following us, but they saw us as genuine and people who are willing to risk it, and so they risked it with us too.
I think I'm offering an incredibly reasonable trade here. I am disappointed to find you so disagreeable.
If your ask was for our assistance in removing your brother from power, I think we could all agree that that's probably the best for your country. But your ask is for us to support you specifically, and we don't know you.
And the more I talk to you, the more I worry about what your motives are, to be honest. Because it doesn't feel like they're transparent, and it doesn't feel like you're thinking about a lot more than yourself right now. That's just how it feels. That doesn't mean it's true. We have lots of things we don't know, which is why we're also uncomfortable with this whole situation to begin with. We're trying to do what we know is going to make things keep moving forward in the best way possible and help as many people as possible, which for us right now is getting that crown.
I can add to our previous offer of immediate cessation of conflict, plus trade negotiations, plus parley with Ilaria, that we would also do everything in our power to remove your brother from authority. Frankly, there's a lot he has to answer for. I don't even know, is there like a international judge criminal thing that you can go in front of and then be sentenced to super crimes? Because that seems appropriate for the things he's done, is to be sentenced for super crimes.
Mm-hmm. I think we gotta create a super court.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, don't worry. We can remove ourselves from that. That's just gonna happen naturally.
Yeah, somebody else should do that. I don't want to do that.
Somebody's gotta do that. Yeah. Alita. How neutral are the Fae?
Entirely.
No, Johannes, you cannot make the Fae in charge of a super crimes court. We're getting off topic. We can offer what we can offer, but we can't offer you our pledged support because we don't understand fully what that would mean, what that would entail, and whether or not we even, as people, would support you as a person. We don't know you. I can't just be out here saying, oh yeah, her, I totally support her, she's great, when I've met you twice. And frankly, this second time that I'm meeting you, I don't think we'd be friends.
It is incredibly disappointing that you don't see the bigger picture here. I truly thought higher of all of you.
We get that a lot.
Yeah.
Well, let us take some time, rest, and clear our heads. It might be wise to address this later. As she says this, she gestures her hand again, the same glittering blue light shining from it. It surrounds both her, Lady Perla, Johannes, and Alida. And in a soft, fading light, the four of them disappear from view. Hey guys, Alex here. I am just popping in to thank some of our Patreon subscribers. I cannot tell you guys how much it means to me to have you guys all on this journey with us and for making this possible. I want to thank Brian Barltrop, Caitlin Brophy, Craig Little, James Arms, Kane Agnelli, and Kyle Oatman. You guys help make this reality, and I'll never be able to tell you how grateful I am. So hopefully this does a little bit of it. Thank you.
What's amazing is that Johannes probably canonically would have picked this spell up because he's tired of losing his wagon keys.
Dude, I never know where I always lose my left buckler. It's the first thing I lose.
So
after a long night out with the boys.